What's up? I gotta speak on something from last night from our New Styles panel. When BJ just played a video about this guy's show who had a lady on his panel speaking about that she works in the school system and how that black mothers teach black boys to put their hands on black girls. That Hispanic mothers don't teach their boys this, white mothers don't teach their boys this. And it's even worse than what you think it is. It's even worse because one, all she cared about is that if the girls get upset and emotional, for the boys not to hit back. So it's okay for the boys to become abused. It's okay for the girl to lash out because of her emotions instead of teaching her discipline and respect. And I'm wondering, this comes back to a lot of people when we talk about one way violence and one way damage. It's okay for y'all to talk about Kevin made fun of us. No, no, actually, you made it very easy to make fun of you. Made it very easy. And I remember when watching the video with Dr. Ronald Neal on a show, and it's some clown trying to defend and trying to say, well, that was not right for him to say that, black women built like linebackers. A lot of them are. We need to stop that bullshit. We need to stop it. A friend of mine tried to say, well, I would be offended if we weren't boys that you talk about big women. When is big women normal? Let me hit that. His girl's not even that big. But you're telling me that I gotta find obesity attractive to make other people comfortable. I refuse to say that. I refuse to even listen to that. And here's the stupidity of it all. Why would I date a woman who's not attractive to me? If other guys like it, I love it. But why? When men express their opinion, we got to shut up, but we got to protect women's feelings. When they would never do the same thing for you. Never. Never. Going back into this school teacher. Well, these mothers are teaching these boys to put their hands on the girls and they should never hit back. See, that's what you call building a fucking slave. So that boy doesn't have a right to defend himself, but it's okay for that girl to act buck wild, right? That's the black community in a nutshell. It doesn't matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how nasty your disposition is, it just does not matter. Take me for what I am, no matter how trashy it becomes, no matter how distasteful I can be. Just take it. You don't deserve respect. You don't deserve anything. That's basically what you're telling the little boys. Like, you deserve to be abused. You deserve for that woman to put hands on you. A lot of people want to make it like the black manosphere is lying about the amount of violence that comes forth from our women. Y'all don't even know how violent the women in our community are. You live in the same damn community. For some odd reason, right? You got these simp enforcers who will turn a blind eye into seeing how abused our children are. Majority of the cases for CPS that I had as an officer, it was the moms. Not feeding, not cleaning, not teaching. But then it's always the daddy's fault. When do you blame the person who's not there for all the troubles that occurred? Somebody tell me this shit. But nobody wants to tell the truth about this stuff, man. Nobody. It gets really messed up. And this is the reason why things in our community are the way they are. There's no honesty. There's no honesty in it. You go around talking about, oh, Kevin Samuels this, Kevin Samuels made fun of us. No, this is how you really look. Overweight, insufferable, delusional. Thinking that you deserve the best. Thinking that you deserve six-figure men. You want 6 foot tall guys and you're 5'2". It's only one way the violence ever is really. 70% of domestic violence, the woman is the aggressor in our country. But why do we keep going along with these bullshit narratives that the women are so dainty? The women are so innocent. It's funny. You got all these Negroes who want to protect their mama, but don't even realize how abusive their mother was to them. Well, my mama, she had to do the best that she could do. It's so funny because when I look at the show Bel Air, right? Where did they send Will? From Philly to Bel Air. Because her mother couldn't keep his wild ass to sit the fuck down. I'm going to point out a lot of stuff from that show. I'm going to do a little bit now, but later on, probably today, I'm going to talk about this. I want you to realize something. The unsung hero of the Fresh Prince, or even the modern iteration of Bel Air, has always been Uncle Phil. And I'm glad he said that one point in the show. Well, I'm fucking sorry for giving everybody a good life. It's easy to shit upon the man who made life better for you. I look at Carlton. Of course, they're going to make him short and dark skinned compared to Will. And I think it's hilarious because one, you made Carlton a drug addict, and it's always something about, and it's the same premise as it was when it was in the 90s or late 80s. No, it was the early 90s. Same premise is that everybody wants to be down with the hood. You can literally make it out the goddamn hood, and everybody wants to be down for the hood. Why? Why? What has the hood accomplished for you? What has the hood done for you? What has it done? Shout out to Salty Balls. It's only one way violence that happens in our community. Think about it. Will gets in trouble. Instead of taking him to his father, because obviously she didn't pick a good father, she sent him to her sister and the well off husband, bringing drama to their lives. When Will gets upset, the whole house got to stand still. But if she was such a great mom and all this other shit, why the fuck couldn't he stay in Philly? You know why? Because nobody wants to talk about how undisciplined the black community is. Nobody wants to talk about how undisciplined single motherhood is. How you train your boys up to be better slaves. I want you to think about this. How many times did Will defy his own uncles? He finally meets his father, and then they make him look like the villain, but nobody says, why did she pick a man like him? Why? What was so damn important about him? Out of all the men you could have had a baby by, not one time did she even go to her sister and say, hey, you got this nice, agreeable man, this nice guy who takes care of his family. Does he have any friends? No. Then you got Phil's wife, Vivian, who's worried about her art career, but that art career didn't put her in that fucking mansion, did it? That art career didn't put her nowhere near there, did it? Even if she focused on them, guess what? Well, I need to focus on me. Were you saying that when you were living in a lap of luxury? Were you saying that? See, it's only one way violence, one way damage, one way thinking. Don't give a fuck. Teach the boys to not touch the girls. You know why? Because you know how much of a degenerate culture we really do have. The boys can't learn anything because you don't emphasize that they need an education. You don't emphasize that these boys need their own schools. You don't emphasize none of this shit. And the very particular part that I think that was troubling is that she made every excuse for the girl to be emotional and put their hands on the boy, but the boy has to be, no, you can't hit back. I'll tell you what. I wish I had a daughter. She hit my son, and I will let my son cold cock her ass. You ain't too pretty. You ain't nobody's princess. Keep your hands to your goddamn self. But you know why? This is the reason why we have the most violent women. Because nobody's ever allowed to check them. Nobody's ever allowed to check them. Oh, that's messed up to say. It ain't messed up. It's the damn truth. Wherever you see single mothers, you see death, you see destruction, you see hatred of men. Hit the cash app, hit the super chat. Boy ain't gonna be up here for too long. I'm on break. I'll be coming back later tonight though. And kryptonite is spelled with a K, man. Get it out of here. Everywhere you see it. Those boys should keep their hands to themselves, but you won't say that shit to the girls because you see one way violence. It's not violent when the female acts a fool. Oh yeah, Ray Hama, tell your boy to keep them kids out of that bat cave, man. That ain't cool. We always got this thing about violence in our community. But nobody wants to talk about the most violent people. Nobody wants to talk about that. You got these simps out here. Well, Kevin Samuel said this lady was built like a linebacker. If you're 250 pounds as a woman, yes, you are. That ain't cute. That is not cute. What you need to do is stop lying to these women. But yet, when they go through all kinds of health shit, nobody wants to fit the bill. Oh, why did they cut your foot off? Why did they give you all these shots? Why did they keep you in the hospital for 6 months? People tired of this bullshit. People tired. Let me tell you about the cute face phenomenon. When you're bigger, especially as a woman, you don't get cuter. Your face doesn't get cute. It gets big. Looks like a goddamn dinner plate. I want you to really think about this shit. How many of these dudes come up in here saying, well, she cute though, she got a fat ass. And you wonder why you don't get respected. Because they know they could give you any damn thing available. They could give you any attitude, any type of undisciplined nature, and as long as she got a fat ass, you will still deal with it. And you wonder why I call you the garbage man of the dating world. You got that. What's that chick name who said she was engaged to that rich white guy? Somebody put her name in the chat. You got delusional fucking ducats, dusty ass buckets. That's why I just call him a ducket, thinking that she's worth it. Thinking that she's worth something. There's a reason why. Because all you Negroes who go out there and be like, oh, you cute, baby. You real fine. You fine as hell. Yeah, I'm going to take you out. Yeah, Ebony K. Williams. That joke. Couldn't land a man. Well, only if he owns the bus. Bitch, go catch a bus. How about that? How about that? Go catch a bus. Go catch a bus. It's funny. I could start out with 14 live subscribers. Now I'm down to 8. And people wonder I'm not shadow banned? Fuck YouTube, man. If you're not talking about these fucking rainbow fucking issues or this wokeism, you ain't gonna get no viewerships. So fuck them. It's amazing. Peak day. You don't see my subscribes. You don't see my notifications. Some don't add up. The math ain't mathing. But back to today's functionality because I'm gonna do a part 2 later. I think it's dangerously hilarious that we have a lot of men who I got to get on their ass keeping up this illusion, keeping up with this facade, encouraging this behavior. For what? A bunch of chicks that don't like you? You know Kevin Samuels should talk about our women. Ooh. Kevin Samuels should talk about our women. Come on, man. Oh, Kevin Samuels says she built like a linebacker. But we gotta sit here and allow your daughters, your sisters, to be delusional. I always thought that shit was funny, man. Always thought that shit was funny. You don't teach your daughters to be wives anymore. You teach them to be even more insufferable than you. That's all. That's all. Why would anybody want to deal with that? Anybody with any sense, any type of sense, you think that's great for men and women who have daughters? Are you teaching them to be ladies and wives? Or are you teaching them to get a degree, not to rely on a man? Are you teaching them to actually keep their hands to themselves? To have some class? No, because you don't value class. You don't value decorum. What you value is destruction and dysfunction. You don't even want your daughters to be married because then they'll have something over you. Because you couldn't get a man, you make sure your kids' relationships are stifled. I've seen it before. All you're gonna do is make sure that she she values all the traits that you have of being a bitch. It's not about being somebody pleasant. Never was about that, man. Never was. Never will be. It's about being a bitch. And this is what you like. This is what you honestly want to be. You don't want to be women of culture. You don't want your sons to do well. You don't even want to raise your sons like they're going to be somebody else's husband or father. You know what you're going to do? You're going to raise them to be holy hell terrors. Every time you go into a black community, what do you see? Destruction. But what do you want out of it? All you want to do is not give up your jobs, but then complain about the jobs you took from the men that were supposed to take care of you. That's all. That's all. That's all. It's all in the damn framework. It's all in what it's supposed to be. Just to build a better slave. Hit the Cash App and hit the Super Chat, man. Especially if you want me to do a part two. I'm going to let you know this. I'm going to let you know this very honestly. Is that a lot of this stuff is being set out for men to be even bigger suckers than before. Why would somebody want to deal with a Ebony K. Williams, a miserable dingbat, a woman who didn't even understand that she was a side piece? But there's dudes out there who would actually defend her bullshit. Why? Why? What do you get out of it? What do you think you're going to get out of this? What's your delusion? I really want to know. I really want to know. You holding every other man to high regard, but you're stealing from your own. Are you worth the juice? Are you worth the squeeze? That's all I want to know. Give me a woo if you want me to do a part two and open up a panel when I come back later. Let me know so I don't waste my time. Because apparently I'm gonna defy a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna get my viewership back up to the way it usually is months ago. But I'm gonna ask this one question. What are we gonna get out of it when we just have one way violence and one way abuse, one way damage? Does that make you think that the young black men who grow up, excuse me, the young black boys who grow up to be men are gonna want to stay and deal with you? Instead of asking why passport bros are going out somewhere for other women, ask this question that I'm going to leave you with. Why couldn't you women bring a better product? And we'll save this for later, man. Whoo! Peace.